Welcome back in studio. Day 2 of our Trailgating here, the uphill preview ahead of tomorrow's uphill world championship. My name is Dylan Bowman, joined again by Mr. Adam Mary. Adam, how you doing, bro?
Doing great. It's off to an awesome start.
It's a beautiful afternoon here in our private village,
That's
our
right.
undisclosed location just outside of Confr. We're getting warmed into our week of coverage here. You
Got
feeling
stars rolling
primed up?
through. Yeah, dude. It's been awesome. Just did a couple athlete interviews, got out on course today, saw a bunch of athletes from different nations. We're going to talk about that later.
Yeah.
It's fun.
That's where we're going to start our show. Before we get into it, just a little bit of housekeeping. Of course, thank you to All Conditions Gear for sponsoring our coverage today and throughout race week. You'll hear more from them a little bit later. Little run of show here for today. Again, we're going to be previewing tomorrow's Uphill World Championship. Tomorrow, we're going to be back in studio to talk about the opening ceremonies, which are happening tonight. We were thinking about maybe recording the show after the opening ceremonies, but that would just be too late. So we'll tell you a little bit more about it tomorrow. And then after that, Short Trail World Championships. We'll be debriefing from that, previewing Long Trail, debriefing from that, previewing the Classic race. So every day we're going to be in studio sharing exactly what you can expect to see out on the race courses and then what actually happens. Adam just mentioned we've done a bunch of really fun athlete interviews so far. So if you haven't checked them out, Caleb Olson, Anna Gibson, David Sinclair might be out by the time you see this. Grayson Murphy, a 3-time medalist. We've got Adam Peterman coming in. Seth Ruling is coming in. So
some impromptu from the field interviews.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of good stuff on Freetrail's coverage here. Before we get to it, reminder, go play fantasy, fantasy.freetrail.com. Pick 10 deep in all 4 races, uphill, short trail, long trail, and classic for a chance to win some great prizes from your friends here at Freetrail. And one other final thing I forgot to mention yesterday. Today begins a new experiment from Freetrail's coverage, that being our daily vlogs.
That's right.
Adam, something we're very excited about.
That's right.
This was an idea that we had, just a way to add new depth to our coverage. Obviously, we've been doing the trailgating stuff, athlete interviews, social media stuff for a few years now. But now we're going to try and put up a highlight film every day, a nice little vlog to give a boots on the ground perspective of what it's like here at the World Championships. So
stoked.
Yeah, pray for Ryan Thrower.
Yeah.
He's got a big week, a big week. And speaking of which, thank you to the team behind the scenes, Mr. Ryan Thrower, Mr. Tom Buchanan, Harmony's cousin on the 1s and 2s, broadcaster of the year in Helena, Montana. You gotta love it. Gracie Hins, who's going to be helping us out with some photography work and who's out there doing some shuttling work, bringing some athletes to and from the studio. So a big thank you to the whole team. But yeah, subscribe to the channel and look out for that vlog this afternoon. That's where you're going to see a lot of the stuff from the opening ceremonies and where we're going to start our show today.
Yes.
That being our little training run. We got a 10K in today.
Sick.
Not to brag.
Not to brag.
So for the audience here, just because yesterday we didn't really do any scene setting because we hadn't really seen anything ourselves before we get into the run that we went on. Maybe just start with the vibe here and the Confr Estacion, because that was the first time we saw it today.
Man, Confr is a good vibe. It's in a steep Confr Estacion, which is where most of the races are starting from, is in the steep valley, getting kind of close to the French border. So you start seeing signs for France. And yeah, these mountains are crazy. I don't know, I haven't seen any like them before. Every range is different, but there's these plateaus and they're really steep. So the athletes doing the short and long trail especially are going to be in for a treat. Yeah. And then, it's really wooded at the bottom, on our VK course today that we got out on, just lichen covered trees, moody vibe with the fog, and weather rolling in this morning too.
Yeah.
Snow on the mountains a little bit.
What the word that comes to mind for me is it's freaking quiet here. Not only in our private village that Freetrail has totally taken over here, our undisclosed location, but Up Valley in Confr Estacion, the host town, is basically a train stop.
Yes.
Deep in the Pyrenees.
Yep.
And we're 4 hours from Barcelona right now.
Yep.
So we're it feels like a very remote place.
It's very remote.
It was funny because we've been sort of debating this today and yesterday, sort of behind the scenes,
Yes.
yeah, it's awesome to come to a place like this where we really wouldn't have an opportunity or an excuse to come visit, but also it is hard to get to,
Yeah.
not only for the athletes, but for the media. Is it better, looking ahead towards Cape Town and back towards Innsbruck, where the last World Championships were and where the next World Championships are, where there's more infrastructure and stuff, where it's a little bit easier to get to?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a mix.
TBD. I mean, certainly from like a spectating athlete experience standpoint, like being in a smaller like village setting like this is like maybe a bit of a drawback. Like there won't be as many spectators. It's harder to get to. But at the same time, the trails are like maybe a little bit, I don't know, like more interesting. There's like, they're super quiet, like less trafficked. And you get to access mountain terrain that you like probably definitely won't come back and see. So like in that sense, like maybe it's more special. So I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see how the event unfolds in the next few days.
Yeah, we'll keep everybody posted on that. One more scene setting thing here before we talk about our run and start getting into the course. As we were driving up Valley today, we saw a dude ripping on the side of the road. And it's like one of those things where from a distance, you're like, that's a good athlete.
Yep.
And of course, everybody who's competing here is a good athlete. Come by him, and sure enough, Andre Wietek, Team Poland,
Doing his strides.
third place from OCC. It must have been just doing his last strides. It's a little bit too close to be doing a hard interval workout, but the dude was on his horse.
Looked good. Yeah, it's so cool being out here. Like you're just seeing like world-class athletes everywhere.
Yeah. So as we were driving up also, it was cold. We all had our puffies on, but it was sunny. And then we sort of bend the corner and look up Valley, and it's this big, dark gray cloud and some snow on the ridges. You'll get to see some of this in our daily vlog, but why don't you launch into just as we start to talk about the course? I mean, we went and did it today.
Yeah, I'm really stoked we got out on it. I don't know what I was expecting because like I've been on VK courses before. Maybe some of the viewers will know the famous VK from Chamonix, right? Like a ton of switchbacks, really steep. This is definitely steep, but I was surprised at how smooth and runnable the trail was. Like after the first, I don't know, like several hundred meters, it literally turns into like a kind of buffed out single track trail for like most of the climb. We made it within eyesight of the top today, and I think it's gonna be a really fast course. Yeah.
I mean, it's switchbacks the whole way. So this is going to be a new thing for us too. Tom, if you don't mind pulling up that course flyover here, we're going to show our viewers exactly what we ran today. Okay, so they should be watching it now, and I got to give a big shout out to my boy Steven Shearer from trailflow.io, who makes these really cool course flyovers. You got to follow him on Instagram, especially on Twitter, which is where I usually see his stuff. But Steven's doing really cool stuff at trailflow.io. So give him some love and a big thank you to him for making this little flyover. But as you can see, basically they start with, and Tom, when this is done playing, if you could pull up the next sort of course graphic so the audience can see what we're talking about. When we drove up there, we passed the start line, which is on a road, and they're on the road for maybe a kilometer. And then it's that sharp hairpin turn when they get onto a narrow single track right away. And then, as you said, it's pretty runnable.
Yes.
Switchbacking trail. Eventually, 2/3 of the way up, you kind of pop above tree line. We didn't go all the way to the top, but once they gain that ridge, maybe it gets a little steep. But maybe. All of us were talking afterwards about like, that's like a pretty tame VK course. Yeah,
agreed. And it's funny. There's like breaks on the way. Like it kind of flattens out like 2 or 3 times, which is uncommon. It's lucky that it won't be raining because the surface is a little like could turn into like gummy mud. But it seems like they're going to be in for a nice day. Yeah.
So Tom, do you still have that graphic up? Great. So I just wanted to show this one more time. So it's 3.83 miles officially with 3,200 feet of climbing.
But goes down smooth,
Yeah, goes down smooth. It's not a super steep, technical, rocky, break the poles out type VK.
No.
It's a runner's race tomorrow.
Definitely.
So very interesting. All right, Tom, that's enough on the course. I wanted to talk about a couple of things from the run today too that I think the audience will find interesting. First and foremost, We got Boulder Boys fans here in Confr.
We do. Where were they from? It was 3 runners from a small Italian.
Okay,
it's like
I wrote it down.
San
Marino.
San Marino.
Yeah.
Shout out San Marino. We'll be rooting for you. Yeah, Boulder Boys fans. We're worldwide. You know.
Okay, so San Marino, we learned we asked them where they were from. Also, they said San Marino, and I just like nodded my head without having any idea what that meant.
Yep.
Evidently, it's a tiny, independent country that exists entirely within Italy.
Yeah.
So sort of like how Andorra is sort of like this tiny European country. I think this is like that, but even more microscopic. So shout out San Marino, man. We got to get some of those jerseys.
That's right. That's right.
We got to get some San Marino jerseys. All right. I also wanted to give a shout out as I was coming down. We had a few Freetrail fans out there too. I saw a couple of Norwegians coming up. And of course, like with everybody, I'm like, shouting out their country, like, let's go.
Yep.
And the Norwegians stopped and they're like, oh, Freetrail. And the guy's like, hey, I won Freetrail Fantasy at CCC.
Crazy.
Guy's name, hold on, I've got it here. Sindre Burras from Norway. He won CCC Fantasy. He was 50th at OCC Fantasy, which is really good.
Wow.
Also, being in the top 50 at 2 races.
Fantasy royalty
UTMB.
here. And
he's on Norway's short trail team.
He's got it figured out.
We got to get him in studio for some analysis.
I know.
So cool though. I mean, obviously it's special for us and especially for Travis that have, so much international participation on the fantasy website, and especially to have, the champions out there, like, being really proud of it.
That's right.
Shout out Sindre. All right. Couple other things. The entire Ugandan team was out there today.
Yes, I was just going to say, it was super cool. They were also like super friendly. Got to chat with Angelina Chalimo on the way down, I think was her name. Rooting for her. Like, it's just so fun to see all these different athletes from all over the world. They were layered up. They were several of them were like, it's so cold. So yeah, it sounds like it'll be nice tomorrow, but yeah, that'd be a factor. So
cool. We talked about the Ugandans in yesterday's show, so go back and check that out. But this is really the only place where they do a lot of the competition. And tomorrow they're well represented. I think they have like almost six or so athletes in each race, but none of them have UTMB index scores. So really nobody knows anything about them.
Watch out, flying under the radar. For my
fantasy, I just I picked a couple random Ugandans and put them in my top 10, just knowing that they've got a great track record here. We saw some Polish athletes, we saw some Canadians, and then right as we were finishing, we bumped into Cam Smith, who was sort of the star of our interview with Anna Gibson yesterday.
That's right. Yeah, great to see Cam. He looks to be in great shape, and he's doubling. Yeah. So it'll be fun to watch.
We did a little impromptu on-trail interview with Cam Smith, so that might make the vlog cut. So shout out to Cam Smith, who, as Adam said, is doing both the vertical and the classic this week. All right, so let's get into tomorrow's race. Just to set some context here, 10 a.m. is the start local time, so that's 1 a.m. Pacific time. The men start first at 10 a.m., the women follow at 11, so they have their own independent race, which is the right thing to do. Before we get into some stats and analytics, Tom, if you don't mind just pulling up the weather forecast here. This is what AccuWeather is predicting for the next 5 days for the whole weekend. And Adam, you're not looking at this, but it's high 50s, low 60s.
Literally perfect.
With sunshine.
Perfect.
Literally perfect.
Yeah.
And I was thinking too, like as we were coming down the trail, there was some moisture, some sort of a little bit of dusting of snow up there, but not a lot. I think it might make it even better.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
The traction underfoot.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So perfect conditions plus like a little bit of tack to the trail.
It's going to be fast.
It might be a ripping weekend.
Yes.
All right. So that's enough on the weather forecast. Tom, if you can pull up the women's index graphic here really quick. Okay. So we talked about this yesterday, and again, everybody can view this stuff for themselves. This is something that we debuted at UTMB, Freetrail Analytics. Shout out to Travis Longcar, who puts all this together. You can find it at fantasy.freetrail.com. You click the stats tab and then navigate to analytics. What we're looking at here is the average UTMB index score of the top 2 or 3 athletes by country. We do this as a way to assess the strongest countries in the field tomorrow. Of course, one of the stories throughout the week, not only are the individual medalists, but the strongest teams here. We did this at UTMB also, which is, of course, also a very international race, and we wanted to continue it here at the World Championships. So what we see with the women's race, Switzerland and France effectively tied with their top 3 runners having an average UTMB index score on the women's side of 749 and 748 respectively. Kenya, you'll see in 3rd place with 744, and you'll see that is slightly a lighter shade of purple. What that indicates is that we're only pulling the average index from 2 athletes from the Kenyan team. Kenya did field 3 athletes. That 3rd athlete does not have a UTMB index score because she hasn't participated in a race that provides UTMB index results.
Yep.
So that's why it's shaded a different color. It's only pulling 2, not 3. But you can look further down the list here just to get a sense of the density of competition by nationality. Anything jump out to you here?
Just that it's like a fairly well clustered distribution on the women's side. Like there's not many extreme outliers at the top, like we'll see in the men's.
Yep. Yeah, so pretty interesting. And again, we're going to do this for all the races. So
I guess one more comment, like maybe I'm biased, but I feel like the U.S. being middle of the road isn't representative of the horsepower we have, you know? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll talk about Team USA here in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, this is the World Championships, you know, and like everybody has had to earn their spot on this team, as we talked about yesterday. Everybody here is a professional athlete, but you know, and actually we'll see there's a lot more parity, a lot more density in the UTMB index scores as we go into the other races throughout the week. But this is a good thing to get us started. Tom, if you could pull up the men's index score here. So as Adam just mentioned, here we see Kenya way out front. They have 2 of the top 3 ranked athletes in the field, that being the 2-time defending champ Patrick Kimneno and Richard Omayo Atuya, who I don't know that much about, but he's the 3rd ranked athlete in the field. So Kenya, by far the strongest. You'll see, though, that that's at one of those lightly shaded purple bars, meaning that, again, there's 3 athletes on the team. The 3rd athlete, aside from Patrick and Richard, does not have a UTMB index score. I'm sure he's a great athlete, too.
Got to be.
But we're only pulling 2 of the average index scores. Then, looking a little bit further down, we've got Switzerland, Spain, United States, and Italy, all pretty well clustered between, 897 and 876. So Switzerland, Spain, USA, Italy in that order. Anything else jump out to you here?
No, just that Kenya's going to be really strong, tough to beat.
Yeah. They went 1-2 in Innsbruck at the last World Championship in 2023 with Patrick and Philemon, and chances are we could see a repeat, though not with Philemon this year. All right, so that's our stats here. But before we get into some of the favorites, obviously just want to give a big shout out to our friends at All Conditions Gear, obviously ACG, this new and exciting branch of Nike, leveraging their amazing innovation engine that they've cultivated over whatever it's been, 50 plus years in Beaverton, Oregon. Now coming into trail running in a big way. We just got our ACG kits. Are we fired up or what?
Big splash. Yeah, no, I was just going to say, like, ACG gear right here. Do you like the cactus motif? I think it's kind of fire.
Yeah, I dig. We got, speaking of purple, we got some purples in the studio. We're definitely going to be swagged up out there. So if you see the Freetrail team, you can see some of this new All Conditions product. Check out the All Conditions racing department too. That's the new athlete team. We talked to Caleb Olson yesterday. He intimated that he might have some special new prototypes on his feet on the race course tomorrow. I got a Radical Airflow shirt, that new crazy innovative cooling top that Caleb won Western States in.
You may be debuting in the studio.
It's going to get debuted. This is the coldest day of the week here. So I didn't want to break it out just yet because I got to save it for later on in the week when it's a little bit warmer. But your boy, obviously I take podcasting really seriously. I'm a high performance podcaster. So eventually I got to break out the most innovative technology.
It only makes sense.
Yeah. So we're going to have the Radical Airflow on in the podcast studio at some point this week. Shout out to All Conditions Gear. And in addition to Team USA, who they're sponsoring, they also sponsor Team Canada, Germany, Great Britain, Kenya, and Uganda.
So sick.
We might see a bunch of ACGs on the podium.
Yeah. I was going to say too, Caleb was mentioning that I don't know if it's all of those teams might have access to that Radical Airflow shirt.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see who chooses to wear it on course.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of Team USA will have the option to wear Radical Airflow.
Nice.
And it does look like later in the week it gets warmer. I think actually the long trail day is forecasted to be the warmest day, but it's still only low 60s.
Yeah.
So we'll see if anybody breaks it out. But obviously really, really interesting. Maybe the most interesting product that's debuted in 2025. So
for sure.
Shout out to All Conditions Gear. Check out allconditionsgear.com. Jumping into the field here, I had one other fun anecdote that's relevant here before we get to some of the favorites. I was going uphill today, and I ran into my old friend Florian Reichert, who's about my age, German athlete, been in the game a long time.
Yep.
And we were just like chit-chatting, catching up. And he's like, yeah, Lucas Earl, who's this hot, young German athlete who's been crushing it in shorter distance stuff. I think he came to Broken Arrow this year and did well. His results are escaping me off the top of my head. But like a great young athlete.
Okay.
A prime, next-gen talent. Evidently, I didn't know this, he runs for Ole Miss in the SEC. And Ole Miss University wouldn't let Lucas Earl come represent Deutschland in the World Championships.
No way.
Shame on you, Ole Miss Athletics Department.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, so if any of you guys have connections in the Ole Miss Athletic Department, you please send them my email so I can send a scathing review of their inability to allow this
they haven't
young
gotten the
talent
memo.
Represent Germany at the world's highest level in trail running. I mean, come on.
I mean,
is he in school right now? I guess he probably is.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, all right. He was the 6th highest ranked athlete in the field. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, notable scratch for people who have put their fantasy rosters in yet. Lucas Earl is officially scratched off the list. So anyway, another fun little anecdote from our run this morning. All right, let's start with the men here. I think, top line, Patrick returning. We talked about it last time. 2-time defending champion, going for the three-peat, won easily the last 2 years. But Remy Bonnet is back.
Yeah, Patrick's been hitting podiums all year though. So I mean, he's gonna be tough to beat. That guy's a stud. Yeah. Remy back from injury. Seems like he's healthy and fit. Like based on his Strava, he's here. So I don't know.
What does his Strava look like?
I think it looks good. He's like putting in uphill efforts at his usual 5x gap, So when he is sharp, he is like so strong uphill.
Especially in vertical races.
Yeah. Broke the Pikes Peak Ascent record, which had stood for decades.
25 years?
Yeah. Last year or the year before. So
2 years ago.
He's so fit.
Yeah, well, it was 2 years ago that he won the Golden Trail World Series overall, and he was like basically unbeatable that season. I think he was 2nd in Trail Run of the Year behind Jim the year that Jim won UTMB. But yeah, came to Broken Arrow, which we were all excited about, and ultimately was a DNS there, found out he had a stress fracture. But great to see Remy Bonnet back on a start line here. We hope that he's healthy. Obviously, that first race back from injury is often one where you kind of have to knock some rust off. But if anybody can jump back in the deep end of the pool at a world championship in a vertical race, it's the great Swiss champion, Remy Bonnet.
Yeah, agreed.
And I think this is his first time racing a trail world champion. He's a multiple-time ski mountaineering world champion.
Yeah.
Including in the vertical. People who are watching can add their notes in the comments, but I think he's a 2 or 3-time vertical world champion on skis.
Yes.
So Remy Bonnet officially very back. Again, the 3rd highest ranked athlete in the field is Richard Omaya Atuya. I don't know anything about him. Do you?
No, not specifically. Just looks like he has some solid results, and it'll be exciting to see him race the field.
Yeah. Christian Allen,
Yeah.
Slim, the
Yeah.
runner, top-ranked American, 4th-ranked overall, anchoring Team USA after his victory at Broken Arrow.
Yeah, that was an impressive clinic he put on at Broken Arrow, and he's got crazy, like, marathon speed, uphill speed. I love the mullet, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him race.
Yeah, he's awesome. All right, so let's just like list through a bunch of names. Do you have anything else you want to get to here?
I don't think so.
So, I mean, it obviously is like it's crazy deep. I mean, we're picking 10 deep in fantasy, and all the best vertical athletes are here. But just a few off the top of my head who I know are dogs: Manuel Innerhofer, an Austrian athlete; Dominic Rowley, Swiss athlete; Ellen Santamaria, Spanish; Jan Torella, who's Spanish; and then Andrea Rostin, who's the best Italian vertical athlete; Xavier Chevier, also a great Italian athlete; Hans Petter Innerhofer, who I think is Manuel Innerhofer's brother. I think we got brothers as the top-ranked Austrians here, so Team Austria is super duper strong. So really, really solid races, or solid field here on the men's side.
Yeah, definitely. It's so funny the UTMB index like ranking system, because like some of these names that are like very far down have had really great results, like Zach Hanna, like the Irish athlete.
Yeah.
He's one to watch out for too. Yeah. Tyler McCandles.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Colorado
I wanted to give a shout out to Team USA here because I think it's fun. So Christian Allen, Joe Gray, Cam Smith, Tyler McCandless, all qualified at Broken Arrow.
Yes.
Were you yeah, you were there.
I was there. Yeah.
So we were up there on course watching, and it's pretty great because, you know, like we talked about yesterday, Joe's in his 40s. Tyler, I think, is in his mid or late 30s.
Yes.
All of them, well, I mean, Christian's young, but they're all like very experienced.
Yep.
3 dads
I was gonna say,
Team America.
Christian,
Yeah.
the biggest out of them all, you know?
4 kids for Christian Allen. You're newly with 2 kids.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
Could you imagine doubling again?
Absolutely not.
Come on.
Can't do it. Respect.
Respect. I mean, having 4 kids, that makes you sturdy in a different way. So,
Yeah. He's got like 4 times dad strength to draw on.
So Christian Allen's going to be applying that dad strength on the course tomorrow. Anything else on the men? I'll just do another quick scroll here and see if we're forgetting any other prominent names.
I mean, it's the exciting thing about world champs is like athletes that, you know, as an American trail runner, like maybe I'm not as familiar with, you get to see them compete against your household names and then like get to learn about new athletes. So I'm just excited to see a lot of these people that we're probably not given any shine to right now, like throw down.
Yeah, I wanted to give a shout out to Remy LaRue.
Yeah.
Canadian athlete.
Yes.
Really strong. He's been, I think, the Canadian mountain running champion a couple of times. Still pretty young. I think in his late 20s, but very well experienced. Had a really good one at ETC at UTMB last month. I bumped into him on a training run afterwards, and he was looking super fit, doing a workout and feeling really motivated for the World Championships. And he's doubling. So he's doing both the uphill and the classic on Sunday. So shout out to Remy LaRue and Team Canada. Moving over to the women here, we do not have the defending champion Andrea Meyer, who won in Innsbruck and I think was second in Thailand. So somebody who has been on multiple podiums, multiple medalists here. But we do have the second place finisher from Innsbruck, that being Falaris Jarutu Kasang, Kenyan athlete. Again, you know, we're not going to have like deep detail on a lot of these runners, and especially in the uphill race. But if you click through on fantasy.freetrail.com and look at their results, a lot of them are participating like in the World Mountain Running Championship all summer, like in the World Cup races.
Yes.
And just knocking out things like, you know, Trofeo Nisego and a lot of the other iconic just like uphill and up down races. And Falaris is one of those types of athletes, again, second place in Innsbruck, the highest returning finisher here at the World Champs.
Yeah, but I mean, topping the UTMB index charts, Maud Mathis.
Yeah.
A longtime household name. solid results this year. 4th at Sierras and all.
Yeah.
It's just
third because Joylene's
right.
DQ.
Yes. Yeah.
So Maud was the only athlete who was impacted twice by Joylene's
She got
DQ
so she's
from
third in
Sierras
both.
and all and OCC.
Yeah.
So Maud was third in both.
Wow.
I think she's won Sierras and all 4 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Swiss athlete. And there was a period in her career where she was basically unbeatable.
Yeah. I remember. So impressive. Yeah. So it'll be fun to watch her race.
To me, it's interesting that Maud is doing the vertical. Maybe we should check and see if she's doubling up into the classic. But I was thinking sort of like at this point in her career, of course, she could make the Swiss team in any distance probably. So to see her pick the vertical, especially coming off a great OCC, you'd think like maybe she'd be interested in jumping into the short trail or maybe even the long trail at some point in her career because she's never really done any of that long stuff.
That would be awesome to see. Moving a little bit further down the list, Anna Gibson, friend of the pod.
Let's go.
Having a great year. It'll be so fun. I was thinking today on the course, I was like, man, I feel like Anna's going to rip this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
I was actually thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Coming back to what we said about the nature of the course, it being very runnable. You know, it's like a runner's race.
Yeah.
Anna, I mean, she's such a special athlete. And I think has that Killian factor of the nature versus nurture.
Yes.
Right. She's got the God-given VO2 max talent that you can't coach.
Yes.
But she also grew up at altitude in Jackson Hole. She grew up ski racing and ski touring. She's not a stranger to being like out in the mountains.
Multi-sport
athlete.
athlete.
If you take that track speed plus like being comfortable in mountainous terrain and especially applying it to this specific course.
Yes.
It could be Anna Gibson City tomorrow.
I think so.
If she medaled, come on.
I mean, I think it's highly possible.
Yeah. To me, thinking about Anna, like she's only like 25 or 26 years old and is in the last 2 years has already established an amazing foundation for her career.
Yep.
The next 15 years.
Didn't she win that Next Gen award?
Yeah, at TrailCon, she won the Future Award.
The Future Award, that's right.
But like thinking long term, and especially across different sports, like man, you could see Anna Gibson, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but like as a UTMB champ someday, you know, or Western States champ someday.
I mean, she's got all the foundational elements, you know.
Anyway, we're getting a little off topic here, focusing on the vertical, but shout out to Anna Gibson, who again is going to be anchoring Team USA after winning the Broken Arrow VK, actually quite comfortably ahead of Joyce and J-Rue.
Yeah, she almost got Killian.
Yeah, she almost got Killian.
Right there.
That was actually a great moment from Broken Arrow.
Yeah.
Like Killian having a rough go in the Broken Arrow VK and like finishing and like hurrying out of the way so that Anna could have the glorious photograph.
Yes.
Like the finish line to herself to really celebrate. Killian, of course, a great class act. Jade Bellsberg was a name we mentioned yesterday.
Yes.
Canadian who's doubling from the vertical to the short trail on Friday. Pretty interesting. She is such an interesting athlete. Was actually kind of in that category that we mentioned of people who can really do it all. People like Katie Scheid, etc.
Yes.
She was second at the Gorge 50K or 100K this year. She won Chuckanut. She's great in pure VKs.
Huge range.
Insane range.
That's crazy.
She's done 100 milers and stuff in her career. So
shout out Jade.
Yeah. So then talking about Team USA quickly. So not only Anna Gibson, we've got Jess Brazeau.
Also qualified at Broken Arrow.
Yep. All these women qualified at Broken Arrow. Sydney Peterson and Hillary Allen.
Yep.
It's pretty cool to see Hillary, sort of the opposite of what we just mentioned, somebody who's mostly been known as, at least at this point in her career, being a long course specialist.
Yes.
Going back to her mountain running roots on the vertical team.
Huge respect to Hillary, but that was like one of the biggest surprises to me was to see her qualify for that team because she's been like, she's multi-sport. She's so dynamic, does 100 milers all the time. And so to see her like drop down and make the team was like so sick.
Yeah. So cool. So just looking, again, we're not going to list everybody's name here. And I would say the uphill is the race this week where there's going to be more surprises or more unfamiliar names in the top 10 than any other race this week. It's just the nature of this specific event and the fact that it is a great crossover for people who are just dabbling with trail running for the first time.
For sure.
Coming from more of a road and track background. But if you just look at the top ranked athletes, there's such cool geographic diversity here. So again, Maud Mathis is the top ranked athlete. We haven't talked about Scout Adkin, who's absolutely been crushing it the last couple of years. Second ranked athlete from Team GB. Wouldn't be surprised to see Scout win. In fact, not to influence the fantasy teams, but I picked Scout to win personally.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we've got Falaris Kasang from Kenya, Crystal Dewale from France, Nina Engelhard from Germany, Susanna Sapunki from Finland, Anna Gibson from the US, Aurea Liachi from Switzerland, Laura Hottenrott from Germany, and Elisa Morin from Canada. That's 9 countries ranked in the top 10. The only country that's you see twice is Switzerland.
That's so interesting.
So interesting. And, at least half of those names I've never heard of or heard of once or twice.
Yeah. That is so interesting. Yeah, different story on the men's side. So that's really awesome to see the diversity on the women's side.
Yeah.
So dope.
Super, super fun. I wanted to also give a shout out to Emma Cook-Clark on Team Canada. I think the Canadians might do really well. Emma Cook-Clark was the person who finished second behind Jen Lichter at Speed Goat.
Yes.
Ran 6 hours flat or 6:02. I think the second fastest time ever. Jen Lichter obviously destroyed the course record at Speed Goat.
Yes.
And we'll talk about Jen later on in the week. She's doing the long trail. But Emma Cook-Clark was a huge, huge result for her at Speed Goat. And going to be rocking that maple leaf for Team Canada here. I think could do some damage.
Yeah, no doubt. That'll be fun to watch her race.
Yeah. All right, cool. Anything else you want to get to here as part of our uphill preview?
I don't think so.
Cool.
Covered it pretty well.
All right, well, we can wrap up there. In fact, I think Adam Peterman's going to be here any minute. So
perfect.
Well-timed show. Hope it was great for the viewers and listeners. Any closing comments from you, bro? Looking forward to the opening ceremonies tonight?
Yeah, looking forward to the opening ceremonies. Going to be kind of interesting. An interesting opening ceremony.
Should we dog?
I think we should dog the event, man. This is some BS.
Yeah.
So they are only allowing some athletes to attend. So for each distance, if there's 5 athletes, maybe only 4 can go. Or which team was it for Grayson? Only one athlete can go.
Seth texted us that only one athlete per.
It's one athlete per team?
Per distance.
That is...
So maybe it's 1 male, 1 female.
Yeah.
So that would make 8 athletes. So to draw the contrast, in Thailand, the entire team got to walk at the opening ceremony.
And it was one of the most special parts. Everyone's got their flag. You're seeing all the other teams. It's this really cool moment.
All right. Well, we're going to be there to witness it ourselves, and we'll provide a fair and honest assessment. But to me, disappointing. And watching the Olympics, the best part about it is the opening ceremony when every single athlete gets to walk with their country.
Imagine if only the flag bearer was there.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And they're using having too little space as the excuse to not allow the athletes to walk.
It's not that small of a village. You know what I mean?
Or just move it down valley into Hakka.
100%. I don't know. I don't get it.
If I were on a team and had worked my ass off to be here and didn't get to walk in the opening ceremony, I would be very disappointed.
Yeah, and a lot of these athletes aren't gonna even go.
Yeah.
So it's a bummer.
Grayson Murphy, a 3-time medalist, isn't even gonna go to the opening ceremony.
Crazy.
She's not allowed to walk.
Crazy, dude.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
We will revisit this tomorrow. If this categorization is unfair, we will be the first to admit it. We'll walk it back. But we were all very surprised, and the athletes are clearly very surprised about it too.
Yeah. Other than that, the only thing I was going to say is just make sure to stay tuned. You might see some surprise guests on some of the future shows, so it's going to be a fun week.
Yeah, it's going to be a super fun week. All right. So in closing here, few reminders. Again, make sure you subscribe to the channel, first of all. Definitely need that and appreciate it. I mentioned it at the top of this show, but just to repeat it again, because we forgot to say it yesterday, our boy Ryan Thrower is going to be making a movie every single day, aren't you, Rye? Rye?
He's locked in.
Yeah, he's locked in right now in the edit cave. So make sure you watch our daily vlogs. This is, again, an experiment. It's definitely ambitious. We're trying to do something new and different. Hopefully it adds value. So go watch those vlogs. We'll be posting the first one tonight after the opening ceremony. So you'll get to see for yourself, actually, also what.
And if you
what
like it, like go the extra mile, like it, like drop a like on it and share it, you know?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Leave a comment.
Yeah.
Text it to all your group chats.
Seriously.
Etc.
Positive reinforcement.
Make sure also you go play fantasy, fantasy.freetrail.com, pick 10 deep in all 4 races. Tomorrow we'll be back in studio. We've got athlete interviews. I can't remember with who. I think Tyler Green, somebody else. So make sure you check out all the athlete interviews that we do. But after the uphill race, we'll debrief from that. We'll talk about all the results. We'll hopefully bring in some of the podium finishers for post-race interviews. And then we'll also preview the following day short trail race, which I think might be the race of the weekend.
Yep.
So you're not going to want to miss tomorrow's show. And then again, we'll be doing the same thing day after day. Thank you to All Conditions Gear. Go to allconditionsgear.com. Check out that Radical Airflow. Grab a pair of the Ultra Flies. Grab some Zagamos.
Get some lifestyle stuff.
Grab some lifestyle swag like your boy Debo and Adam Mary have on. And a big final thank you to the team behind the scenes. Tom Buchanan on the 1s and 2s, a total natural here, Montana's broadcaster of the year. Ryan Thrower in the background here, the leader of our creative team, and Gracie Hintz, who's out there shuttling athletes around. In
and
fact,
Harmony
picking up
Bowman back home.
Yeah, Harmony Bowman, Travis Longcar back home, the glue that holds the team together. Adam, great job.
So
Super
fun. Yeah.
For Adam Mary, I'm Debo. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.
Thanks.